Hi everyone, this is Stefano Campagna. I wanted to spend a few minutes today going over completing the square with you guys. So suppose we have the expression x squared plus 4x plus 3 equals 0. We can use completing the square in order to solve this quadratic equation. And the technique would borrow from the expression x squared plus 2xy plus y squared equals x plus y squared, right? We would use this special factoring form in order to simplify that expression. So to start out, we can use subtraction, property of equality, to move the 3 to the other side of the equation. So we get x squared plus 4x equal to negative 3, right? So our quadratic equation can be rewritten in this form. Now, our goal is to introduce a y squared term to the left hand side in order to factor our expression. Now, notice that 2xy over here from the perfect square trinomial, maybe I should write that down. Perfect square trinomial. So if we look at the perfect square trinomial over here, we see that the linear term in x is going to be multiplied by 2y. So if we find what y is equal to, we can square it and add it to both sides, right? So that's all we need to do here. So we can take the 4 over here and treat it as 4 over 1. Next, we'll multiply by a half, right, to get rid of that 2 in the perfect square trinomial form, and we'll square it. So this would be 1 times 4, that's 4. 2 times 1, that's 2. So that'll be 4 over 2 squared, which is just 2 squared, right? So keep in mind that this is 2 squared, and that's equal to 4. So we're going to add 4 to both sides. So we have x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals 1, right? Because 4 and negative 3, that's just 1. Now, the left-hand side can be factored. If we factor the left-hand side, that would be x plus 2 squared. And why x plus 2 squared? Because again, this is a perfect square trinomial. If we try to factor it, we would see, oh, what are the two numbers whose sum is 4 and product is positive 4? Those two numbers would be positive 2 and positive 2. So we write it as x plus 2, all of that squared, equals 1. So now what do? We take the square root of both sides. Right, so if I take the square root here, and take the square root here, right, then this is equal to plus or minus square root of 1. So x plus 2 is equal to plus or minus 1, because the square root of 1 is just 1. Now, from here, we can divide this into two expressions. X plus 2 equals 1, or x plus 2 equals negative 1. If we subtract 2 from both sides, we get x is equal to negative 1. And if we subtract 2 from both sides for this expression, we get x is equal to negative 3. Right? So your solutions are x equal to negative 1 or x equal to negative 3. Now, how do we confirm? Well, that these are indeed solutions. We can take the negative 1 and the negative 3 and plug them back into the original expression. So, in the original equation, if we take negative 1 and we square it, and then add 4 times negative 1, and then add 3, does that equal 0? I'll write over here, check. Okay, So negative 1 when you square, that's just 1. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. 3 is just 3. Is this equal to 0? 1 minus 4 is negative 3. Negative 3 plus 3 is indeed equal to 0. So that's a check, right? So this one works. Now, if we try the negative 3, over here I have negative 3 squared plus 4 times negative 3 plus 3. Is that equal to 0? I ask. I'll just put a question mark over here to indicate that I'm not sure yet. So negative 3, when I square it, that's negative 3 times negative 3, which is positive 9. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. And then over here I'll have plus 3. Right? Is that equal to 0? 9 minus 12 is negative 3. Negative 3 plus 3 is indeed equal to 0. So check. Right? So completing the square is guaranteed to give us both solutions of any quadratic equation. Now, do note that whenever we're working with any one of these quadratic equations that we want to solve for using the completing the square method, we need to make sure that we have an expression ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a is equal to 1. And then we'll do some more examples in the following video. Could we have done this differently? Yes. We could have also taken the x squared plus 4x plus 3 equal to 0, and we could have factored. We could have written x over here equal to 0, and found two numbers whose sum is 4 and product is positive 3. So those two numbers are plus 3 and plus 1. Now, remember that this is a polynomial, right? A quadratic equation is just a polynomial. And the two factors are going to be real numbers, right? X is going to be a real variable in both of these expressions. And we know that x plus 3 times x plus 1 is equal to 0 if and only if x plus 3 is equal to 0 or x plus 1 is equal to 0. So we can subtract 3 from both sides, and we have x is equal to negative 3. Or we can subtract negative 1 from both sides. So x is equal to negative 1. And that would have also worked. So in the next video, we'll go over more examples of completing the square. And I think that'll be good practice overall for when we're working with expressions in vertex form. So yes, let's stop here. We'll work on harder problems next time. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave your questions in the comment section below, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying all of the math problems that we're working on. So until next time, take care. Bye.